Hello, everyone, and welcome to my review of Elstree 1976. This is a brand new documentary that, if you're a fan of Star Wars, I highly recommend you check out. I've been wanting to see it for a while. This one focuses on the lives of the men and women who were actors and extras. Some had lines in the movie, some were in costume, some of them had masks, and some of them were just in the background. And maybe in the background throughout the movie, like in little small scenes, whether they were playing a stormtrooper or they were playing an X-Wing pilot and all that kind of stuff. And some of them, of course, a lot of people will know by name, especially the actor's name, but they'll probably know more about the actual part they were playing. They might even more details than the actors themselves. But this one focuses on their point of view, their lives, their experiences as growing up, getting the part in Star Wars, and then where their careers went after the fact. It's really interesting to see their point of view, especially my favorite aspect of the movie was to hear of how they felt being on set. You know, they were overwhelmed with like, wow, what is this all about? What is this? What is that huge spaceship? Of course, you know, that spaceship would be known as the Millennium Falcon, but they'd like see these amazing sets and go like, something is extremely special here. But they didn't know if they were in something that would even be remembered. Some of them even thought that they were in like a TV movie. They didn't really have a grand detail, and it was really interesting, or grand detail of like what they were part of. But what was really interesting as well is some of them talked of how they met George Lucas. One of my favorite, the guy who played Greedo, he met George Lucas by just running into him and saying, "Hey, I just got here. I'm really thirsty. Can I have a cup of coffee?" And George Lucas went and got a cup of coffee for this actor who would go on to be Greedo. And then, you know, you meet the actor that played the stormtrooper that bangs his head. You also meet some other actors who had lines, some other actors who didn't, some actors just in the background, whether they were whether they were full in costume or they had makeup on. Of course, the most recognizable that we got to know in the movie, of course, is the man who played Darth Vader, David Prowse, who I didn't know he was in A Clockwork Orange, so that was kind of interesting to find out while watching the movie. But, you know, it's interesting to see his point of view of what was going on and what happened to him and how proud he is to be a part of this franchise, and even the story of him not making the movie in the sense his voice making the film, because of course Darth Vader is known being played by, at least the voice was played by James Earl Jones. Another actor that we meet in the film, we meet a series of actors, a lot of actors and one actress. I'm assuming that they probably, you know, gave a shout out to say, hey, anybody want to be a part of this movie? You worked on Star Wars, want to be a part of this movie? And they took what they got. Because it seems like, I'd like to believe that more women wanted to be a part of this film, but we're not. Because in the documentary, it's mainly just men and then one woman. Okay, so Jeremy Bulloch, who played Boba Fett, is featured in the movie as well. It's interesting to hear his story and how he got the part, and also how he looks back at the role. And of course, I meant the most famous one out of this whole movie. The most famous actor out of this whole film was David Prowse as Darth Vader. But another actor had a very small part, but he had lines in the film, and he was part of the ending of the movie. He played an X-Wing pilot, and his name is Angus Malisi, whatever. I'm sorry, I butchered your name. I apologize. The reason I bring him up is I've seen him in other movies before and after, but one film that he's in that I love that he did not mention at all, I'd like to believe that he's proud of that movie because he has a big part in that film, is Strange Brew. I believe he plays the boyfriend of the girl in the film that owns the beer company that's trying to get it back from her father and Max von Sydow. But he didn't really talk about Strange Brew at all. That was kind of a bummer. Okay, so it was really interesting to hear from these actors and their point of view of getting these jobs and learning about the filmmaking process, and of course learning about their lives before and after. And most of these guys are working in other means or other jobs. Some of them are still actors. A lot of them are getting their name out there through conventions and earning money through signatures and pictures and stuff like that. So that's the range of this film, and it was something that I really enjoyed. I didn't think it was great. It didn't feel great or important or profound in any way, but I loved hearing these guys and what they went through in the process of making this film, and how they've kind of, it's a part of their lives. It's not like the most important thing they ever did, but it was really interesting that this thing that they thought that wasn't that important at the time that they were making it has now, Star Wars. I mean, it's Star Wars. It's something that's part of my life. I love it. I care about it. I loved the new Star Wars movies, and I'm looking forward to what's coming out in the future. But, it's just nice to see someone who might not be recognized like a Harrison Ford or Carrie Fisher or Mark Hamill, but someone who is a part of the universe. I would have loved to just had a walk-on scene. I mean, now that they're making new Star Wars movies, I would love to have a walk-on scene in a new Star Wars movie and say, I was in that movie. I was in the Star Wars universe, even if it was for a second. So most of these guys, they're proud, they're happy. They seem like they didn't have too much animosity for what happened to them in their lives. There is a little rift between the extras and the actors, which was kind of silly, but I understand, I get it. It's whatever. In the end, I mean, as an audience member, we don't care. We're just like, cool, you're in Star Wars. We don't care who you are. You're in Star Wars. But some of them feel like, they shouldn't get the recognition that they get, unless they had like a line. But some people, I don't know, whatever. I mean, it's their point of view. It's their prerogative. I enjoyed the film. I liked it. I enjoyed seeing it at the Frida Cinema in Santa Ana, California with a good friend, Dave. Sometimes I go there alone and see a movie, and it was nice to have a friend there to enjoy it as well. Good film. If you're a fan of Star Wars, this is a must-see. Hopefully you can find it very, very soon. I don't think it's going to get a large theatrical run, so you'll probably have a better chance of seeing it home or online. And I would definitely recommend you do. And for that, I'm going to give Elstree 1976. I'm going to give it a solid 3 stars out of 4. Thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment, and share this video. And also, please check out these amazing movie websites. And if you enjoyed this review, please click here to subscribe to my channel, and also please check out all my recent reviews right here on YouTube. Have a great day, live film, find peace, happiness, and harmony in anything and everything you do, and I'll talk to you at my next movie review.